Tanner, do you want to describe the plot of Dylan's pick of the week, that being the 1999 film Deep Blue Sea?
Oh, dude, Deepest Bluest my hat is like a shark's fin. So Deep Blue Sea is about some Alzheimer's researchers who make sharks with big brains and then are just deeply shocked when having the big brains makes them smarter. And then during a hurricane, the sharks manage to destroy the facility, and they're trying to escape, but the people successfully kill all the sharks while also most of the people dying. Fun fact, the license plate they pull out of the one shark's mouth is the same license plate from Jaws.
Whoa.
And by same, I mean it has the same numbers and state. I don't think it was the same prop. But that'd be fun.
Yeah, they managed to track it down and reuse it. They bought it on auction, so at that point it's their legal right to be able to use it in whatever film they want.
True. Watching this for the first time in many years, I was shocked to discover just how much this film rips off Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of Jurassic Park in this movie for some reason, including having Samuel L. Jackson in both of them. Something that we even commented about while watching it was I appreciate how many of the people they're willing to kill, even some ones that you don't really expect to go.
Yeah, they just seem totally willing to murder literally everybody in this film. It was very strange. Like, by the end of the film, they just, like, kill the main love interest woman, and it's like, why'd they do that? Also, why did she give up herself and die like that? There was no reason for it. Why'd she jump in the water?
Dude, because fuck him, she thought it was the only way or something, and then they killed her off very unceremoniously after she accomplishes basically nothing over being just a common lure.
Yeah.
It was incredibly unceremonious. What were they trying to imply with that? Like, was the shark kind of like paused and like mean mugged, or was it like, mother? Or is that what we were supposed to...
I think it was just fucking with her. They mentioned before that the sharks were kind of just like toying with them because they knew they had like an overwhelming advantage. That's probably what they were doing.
True, yeah. I enjoy the little twist at the end where they're like, God damn it, these sharks have been like intentionally driving us to like flood different parts of the facility so that they could escape.
Yeah.
And they pretty intelligently hint at that with Samuel L. Jackson's first thing where it's like, what would sharks think about? And they're like, whatever. And then that comes back to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
Literally. And then also the only other hint is when you have Mr. McMuscles or whatever his name is, and the shark very clearly could grab him, but it does like a feint and lets him get away through a door, and you're like, huh. I don't know if you guys even noticed that in the moment, but I went like, oh, okay, that's them sort of hinting at the sharks are like, okay, we gotta let this guy live so we can flood more of the laboratory.
No, I saw that and I was like, man, this is a bad movie.
Okay. Understandable.
Which I think it is. I don't think this movie is particularly good at all. I have very little to say about it for the most part. It's just Jurassic Park, but with sharks now. Furthering my hatred towards the original Jurassic Park, I'm lowering it again.
Yeah. I think what's funny for me is that the CG and practical effects, I guess, of this movie are so hit or miss. Like, I think some of the early segments are actually pretty good, and then some of the later ones just look fucking horrible. It's crazy, the contrast. But I guess for some pros, I actually do think this movie was a little scary. I'm not going to say I'm scared of water or anything, but I absolutely could see myself not like, actually in this fucking setting, but like, if I like place myself in this setting, I'd be fucking shit my pants. Anyways, to make a fucking long story short here, I think the setting was pretty good. I like the idea of it. It's a pretty novel concept, I feel, for the most part. It's taking a spin on something in an interesting way. I definitely expected it to be a lot more schlocky than it was, and it was pretty schlocky, but they played around the limitations they had a lot more. There was more like realism applied to it than I would have expected a movie like this to do. It still was, some like generic fucking sci-fi film with a little bit higher of a budget at the end of the day, but it had some good qualities. I think it's a little fun, rompy horror film. I don't understand why what the fuck's the guy's name, I already forgot, was in the movie at all. He was like some weird comic relief for the entire thing. Very strange.
Oh, LL Cool J?
Yeah, LL Cool J. Very strange. And he's one of the fuckers that lived till the end for some reason.
Yeah.
He got mauled by a shark and somehow didn't immediately bleed to death. I don't know how the fuck he got the strength to swim back on the shore. Crazy.
And he killed 2 out of 3 of them, dude.
Yeah, I do think my favorite scene of the movie involved him, though, and is when he hit himself in the oven, and then the shark turned the fucking oven on. That was, like, the only scene that actually, like, made me tense up. I was like, oh my god, am I gonna watch a guy get fucking roasted alive in a fucking oven? That was horrifying. And then he axed his way out, which was pretty stupid. Why the fuck was there? Why did he have, like, an axe or something? But, you know, it's whatever.
Yeah, I literally had written down effects are hit or miss, so I very much agree. And also, it's not even consistent where it's like, oh, when they're above water they look bad, or when they're underwater they look bad, or blah blah blah. It's like sometimes they look good above water, sometimes they look bad, sometimes they look good underwater, sometimes they look bad. It's like it seems completely random when the shark, and it's even like. Sometimes the CG sharks look fine, and sometimes they look bad, and then sometimes the puppet sharks look good, and sometimes they look bad. There's, like, no consistency at all where or what medium looks good at any given time.
And also, by the way, like, the fucking plot for this movie is also, we've said it before, I'm gonna say it again, contrived. This shit is fucking stupid, dude. Like, when they get the shark to fucking throw the dude who's on the metal bed into the glass to shatter it, how does it shatter that easily? How's the shark able to get enough momentum to throw him?
That shark, in fairness to the movie, that shark was shown to be hauling some fucking ass. It was moving.
It didn't look like the bad guy was
fast.
moving that fast.
I don't think it would have been fast enough to throw the guy through that glass. That glass is probably insanely strong.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that should have ever happened. I'm not disagreeing on that, but that shark was fucking schmoving, dude. I could see where they're going for it there, I guess.
I see the vision. I agree with it, but like
I could suspend my disbelief.
Yeah, I also like to not counter, but like to put myself in contrast with Nico.
Why is like the entire building made of explosives? By the way, what's up with that?
That's
contingency.
Yeah. They should have gasoline littered everywhere.
Yeah, I think that I have fun with this movie. I agree, it's not great by most objective measurements, but like I just have a really fun time with it, you know?
Yeah. One may even go as far as to say it's so bad it's good.
It certainly does not take itself very seriously. This is also this is a very conflicting movie for me, though. It's like I'm looking at my rankings here. My horror movie rankings are kind of wild. I probably need to do some shuffling around here, and I don't know what the fuck to rank this shit.
Well, we're gonna find out what you're gonna be ranking this shit after we hear what God damn it, Dylan has to say about it.
Alright, so this is going to be my review of Deep Blue Sea, and this might be laced with some nostalgia trip moments, but yeah, no, I remember watching this movie all the time when I was a kid. For a movie from 1999, I think it aged very well, at least from my own personal opinion. Again, that could be the nostalgia talking. I think the acting was great. I think the setting was, you know, I mean, what else are you gonna do for a shark movie? I've seen plenty of other ones that are just either terrible intentionally or not intentionally. I thought the plot was, I don't really know how to describe it. It was very compelling, though, you know, just the way that everything was set up. There were hardly any contrivances. There were a few here and there. I'm not gonna say this movie was perfect in its plot, but there weren't just things that happened just cause. Most things happened for a somewhat predictable reason, and I think I don't really know what like the pacing of a good horror thriller movie should be, as far as in this regards to people dying, I guess. But it at least was to the point where people were dying, and it wasn't just kind of like, oh, whatever, except for maybe a few people at the beginning. But I feel like you were able to understand some of the characters and like connect with them, and you know, they had character before they died, so their death actually meant something. But yeah, I feel like the pacing in this movie was well done, aside from, like, I don't know how the whole deaths part worked, but I suppose it isn't entirely important. The only other thing that I would say with this movie is, you know, the effects were kind of bad. and being a film from 1999, it wasn't too awfully terrible. I think it's fine. I think one thing this movie does really well is, at least in its live action shots where everything's like flooding and they're actually in like the tunnel areas, you know, they've got that aesthetic going for them. I think they pulled off the environment and the settings very well. But again, this could just be the nostalgia talking. But regardless, I gave Deep Blue Sea an A-.
He liked it.
Dude.
What can we say? The man likes what he likes.
Deepest Bluest my head is like a shark. Does that song impact your ranking at all, Nico?
No.
Damn.
If it played, like, you know, at any point other than the credits, then perhaps, but...
What do you mean? Fucking, that one song that played over the credits, won Eminem an Oscar. Surely we should count that shit, too.
But you had disagreements as to whether or not that should have counted towards the Oscar.
Facts, dude. But this song. What if we found out this song won an Oscar?
Oh, there we go. What if we found out that LL Cool J wrote this song entirely independent of the film, and this song just inspired the movie?
That'd be awesome. I'd love that. That'd be my favorite. Deepest bluest my head is like a shark's fin.
And speaking of this deep blue film, Dylan gave it an A-. Jackson, what are you giving it?
I'm giving it a flat C, I guess.
Dude, I'm also giving it a flat C. Tanner, how about you? You giving it like anything higher than a B? Are you a crazy person?
Dude, that's crazy you would say that. I was literally thinking a B.
It's not higher than a B, I suppose, so you ain't crazy yet.
Our prices are insane!
And that landed at a B- overall.
Wow.
Whoa.
Maybe a little high, but you know, we take what we can get, I suppose.